Hey guys, it's your girl Pretty. Um, obviously. So, um, before I start, check out the band too. I know y'all check it out. Check it out. I didn't want to make a video because I look like this right now, but we just gonna go ahead and make it anyways. So, shout out to Kodak Black. Okay, well, guess what? So, my husband, he doesn't like the fact that my podcast is vocal. I have a podcast on Spotify called Pretty's Blacklight Podcast, and basically, I didn't really want to make a video with my face in it because I didn't want to take away from the message that I was trying to send. So that's the only reason why I didn't want to put my face in it. But you know, it's kind of therapeutic for me to make videos in his eyes. So I'm going to make this video. So Pretty's Blacklight Podcast. Pretty's Blacklight Podcast is a spiritual podcast, not religious, obviously. To be spiritual means to be free. To be spiritual means to be of the spirit. My podcast is called Pretty's Blacklight Podcast to shed light on the black community in general. And light is a spiritual reference for positive energy. So basically my podcast is referring to the black community and how to bring more positivity into our community and just different spiritual topics in general. So my first episode was about Nipsey Hussle and gang banging and how us as a black community, we need to come together now more than ever. I'm not sure if you guys agree or not, but I really feel like it's true. My second episode was called Pandemic. Y'all gonna have to excuse me because I told him I didn't want to make this video, but here I am. So y'all gonna have to watch me handle this kush. But yeah, so my second episode was called Pandemic, and it was obviously about coronavirus and how to protect yourselves, how to raise your vibrations basically so that you won't be subject to any virus. Raising your vibrations means when you have a frequency that are high. We're like radio stations in my eyes, you know? Whatever frequency we're tuned into is the frequency that we're going to emit to the world, just like a radio station. So it's like whatever you put into your body is what you're going to give to the world. And basically my pandemic episode was letting people know how to raise their vibrations, how to stay afloat. To stay afloat, it means to not feed into the fear tactics or the propaganda that the media is trying to feed you to. They thrive off of our fear, off of our despair, off of our sadness. It's basically saying to stay afloat, to not feed into the fear tactics, to not give them that satisfaction, to trust within the universe and yourself. When you raise your vibrations, you will not be subject to any virus. That's with any virus. So this episode I kind of want to make about supernatural topics. The only reason why I want to make this about supernatural topics is because the podcast is basically like widespread, basically about a lot of different things. So let's see. The supernatural topics that I'll be covering today might seem a little offish, might seem a little, all over the place. But I just want to know, what do you guys think about it? I just want to know. So feel free to subscribe, like, comment, tell me your opinions. Don't talk about my fucking hair. But yeah, totally. This is my very first video, so stall me out on it. So being spiritual, I have an understanding of this lifetime in a way that a lot of different people don't view it. My community, our community, Black community, anybody really, but specifically the Black community, we're always worried about different things that sometimes aren't even relevant or important. We're always worried about the wrong things sometimes. And to be spiritual, I know that the things that we're battling is the things that are not seen. By the things that are not, and by me saying the things that are not seen, I mean spiritually. I mean, we don't, just like in the Bible, like I said, I'm not religious, but in the Bible it literally says that we're battling not with flesh but of the spirit, things that are which cannot be seen. And that's very, very true. It's a spiritual warfare out here. Church is fine, and I don't judge nor put anyone down or anything like that, especially not during these times right now. But what happens to the people when they leave church, and what happens to the youth, that are going through things every single day? That's why I say that we're battling with things that are of the spirit, things that are which cannot be seen, because when they leave their houses, when they go home, when they go back to their lives, they still have to deal with whatever they're dealing with, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's helping them. Nobody's ministering to them. Nobody's uplifting them. Nobody's trying in any shape, way, or form to let them know that they're worthy, to let them know that this too shall pass, to let them know that it's just temporary, to let them know that you're not walking by sight. So I made this podcast to to reach out to them, but we're battling with things that are not of flesh. So that's why I created this podcast. So I was just talking about this total alien experience that I had in Vegas. True story. And I was scared for my life. There are some things that happen in the world where the media and society, they want to tell you that it's not real. They want to tell you oh, you're weird if you think about that type of stuff, or you know, you're this and you're that or whatever, and that's not true at all. Because these things really do happen, like, in real life. So, my alien experience in Vegas. Um, I went to me and my big brother. It was my husband's birthday, but he wasn't out here. So, me and my big brother, we hiked to this mountain so that we can go to this lake or whatever to watch the fireworks. And they had like live music, and they had like food and wine, and like it was just so magical. And on the way back, it just got so dark, like so late, so fast, that me and my brother was just like, because we literally hiked damn near 10 miles, like over 10 miles just to get there. So like we were like, we're super tired, like, you know, we were like, let's camp out in the park until sun comes up or whatever. So I don't know why the fuck we did that, but so my big brother goes to sleep and he's snoring. Okay, he is snoring. Next thing you know, I hear like some kind of dog barking or something, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, a dog barking. But the dog, it went like from dog barking to like a dog crying for its life type shit. I'm serious. It did not sound like regular barking. It went from like woof woof to like help help. It sounded like the dog was being eaten, and I'm dead ass serious. Okay, I'm the only one there that's awake in the fucking park. My brother's asleep. We're in a tent. We camped out. So, the dog is like crying for its life, and I'm like, does anybody else hear that? I did not want to look outside of the tent, so I stayed in or whatever. So, next thing you know, I hear a voice. And now, this is a real true story on my life. I heard a voice, and it did not sound human whatsoever. It did not. It sounded like it was on a loudspeaker. That's how loud the voice was. And I'm surprised because my brother the next day, he said he didn't hear shit. He said he did not hear nothing. So just imagine how I feel to have been the one with that experience, that there's nobody else, can even tell, like, oh, she's telling the truth. Nobody. I was scared for my fucking life. Like, literally. Area 51 is in Nevada. Don't play. We was literally in the middle of nowhere, behind a mountain, like miles off into the deep abyss, at a park in the middle of Nevada, like hours away from the town. It was like the most scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I couldn't understand what the voice was saying, but it was talking. Like, it was just, I could just hear it. Like, it wasn't normal. Like, it wasn't. And I've read up on things like this, and I've read that, aliens can take on the sound of an animal, or the sound of, the sound of a human. And like, it literally sounded like a dog, but the dog was like screaming for its entire life, and then it was not a dog anymore. It was a whole ass voice. And I'm like, I never found out like what that was, or I never found out anything after that, because like my brother didn't believe me or whatever. Basically, he didn't believe me. So that was my alien experience in Nevada, close to Area 51. I don't even know where Area 51's located, but pretty sure it was not too far from that. Well, another topic we're going to dive into is angels and demons. When I say that this lifetime, I have an understanding of this lifetime that other people don't, I don't mean like I'm above anyone or like, anything like that. I mean like I understand this lifetime. I understand that there are pretty much everything is temporary here. But I also understand that we're battling with things that we cannot see. So angels and demons are very real, and angels and demons are a topic that people don't like to talk about, or they don't understand. There was a time, hold on, babe's coming in. There was a time when people would bring up demons, and I would just be like, I don't want to talk about that. I would be like, I don't want to talk about demons. I don't even want to say the word. Like, I just don't want that type of energy. And I would just totally try to avoid it, like all in together. But now that I'm older, I realize that just because you don't talk about something doesn't mean that it's not real. Just because you don't conversate about something doesn't mean that it's not happening in the world. And there are a lot of different people out here that try to avoid topics to make them go away, and behind the scenes they're just festering. Like, they're just as real as they were when you stopped talking about them as they are in general. So I learned to, not be so energy sensitive, even though I'm super energy sensitive. So, angels and demons. My podcast is of positive energy, which is the term light. So we're going to start with the angels. The angels, there are several different angels, and then there's archangels. Not sure if you guys know the difference. So the archangels are pretty much surrounding to be able to assist those on their missions. Regular angels, they could be anybody really. They could be in the form of a human. They can be in the form of an animal. They could be anything. And their job is one simple: to protect, to watch over. Archangels, they assist. So, you know, for different properties, different things that you're going through in your life, you can call on them at any point in time to either assist you or to give you guidance. Whether you're religious, whether you're spiritual, you can always be sent an angel. It doesn't matter. I've seen lots of different things. Near-death experiences, you know? Near-death experiences where people would have been like, I don't know how you would have survived, or I would have died, you would have died, we could have died, but you didn't, you know? And there's some people that like, wow, you have angels watching over you. And it's true. The near-death experiences that I've been through, it's always been literally like 2.5 seconds away from death. And those things were unexplainable, like literally unexplainable, to the point where it's like, okay, you might be covered. You might be covered. So it's one of those. Obviously, in demons, they're definitely a little bit different. There could be good demons. Majority of time, and they're not. I'm not 100% sure on how many there are, because obviously there's like a zillion. But our focus should be on the properties of them, and my phone's gonna die. The properties of them and how to go about defeating them, how to go about acknowledging them, knowing when you are in the presence of them, knowing what to do when you are in the presence of them, or if you're attacked, knowing the protection spells. No, I'm not a witch. Ever any protectives that you could.